Hello and welcome to Satsang. Namaste. And welcome to everyone online as well. Thank you to Taoism for welcoming people, and thank you to Gyro for spelling out the mantra. That's helpful. I like that. Om Namo Purnam Saranam. It means I take refuge in the whole. I take refuge in the whole. Like, what does that mean? I take refuge in the whole. It's like your beingness is complete wholeness. It's perfection, endless, infinite, perfect as it is. So when you're saying that, Om Namo Purnam Saranam, you're saying my being is perfect, endless, infinite. And you're bowing down to yourself. You're bowing down to yourself. You know? No one else out there, some God. You know? We a lot of times kind of mistake that. We think, oh, there must be some God outside somewhere. I want to read something to you I know some people are going through things, and I felt that this poem would be helpful in rejuvenating you. So this poem is by Kalidas, and he says, "Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the realities and truths of existence, the joy of growth, the splendor of action, the glory of power. For yesterday is but a memory, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a memory of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day." So we can't change the past, and we can't change the future. We can just be as we are now, in this very moment now. Imagine, where's your mind going? Is it thinking about what happened yesterday, or the day before, or years ago? Oftentimes the mind dwells on that, and can dwell on it for decades. Just grudges and resentments and pain and suffering and trauma. You know, trauma is the past that's still embedded in our subconscious mind, that hurts us, that causes us depression and deep, great suffering. And many of the traumas, we don't even know that they're there. That's the amazing part. Like, all the traumas of past lifetimes that have occurred, we don't even know what happened, what we did, or what someone did to us. But those are the sort of walls around the heart that say, no, I cannot love. I cannot open my heart again. I've been hurt too many times. And so then, when we get into our next relationship, we're guarded. This person might hurt me. And oftentimes it's subconscious that way. And we don't even know that we're doing it. We're just worried. Is this person going to hurt me again? Is going to do the same thing as that last one did? So I have to be careful how to act around them, make sure that I can control them, to make sure that they do the things that I like. Like, there's a lot of say subconscious maneuvering to make a relationship happen. And oftentimes, the beginning of a relationship, we don't even see any of that. It's just bliss. You know, like we're loving every second because we don't know anything about their problems or their issues. We're just having so much fun. It's the romance, you know. We love that. And it is. Why can't we enjoy that? That's so fun. I'm talking about intimate relationships particularly. It's fun. And why not enjoy it? Why not ignore or not look at any of the problems of the person? Why? That just ruins it. You know? Please give me a list of all your issues and problems before I get into a relationship with you. Otherwise, I can't have a romance. I mean, can you imagine if we had to do that every time? Why? Why not be open to your heart being broken? Why not just say, I'm going to dive in this relationship, and if my heart gets broken, so be it. At least I loved. At least I lived. You know? The sort of passion, the life. I mean, what's the point getting in the relationship and worrying about whether it's going to fail or not, or whether they're going to do something to hurt my feelings? It's like, just love.
Or whether it's forever, or a few years, or
however long. Yeah. Well, you know, all of my relationships have only lasted 2 years, so I think this one's ticking. I got 1.5 years left. I mean, it's like, that's the kind of thing that we get into, is we remember the past and we think it's going to repeat. Oftentimes it does repeat. It's like, and I've noticed a lot of males will search out for relationships looking for their good mother, like their mother, someone who will take care of them or provide them nourishment in a motherly way. And that's very sweet, actually. I think it's very sweet. But do you know what the male is actually looking for? The male is looking to awaken his own divine mother inside him. Because when you're, let's say, dating someone, you're dating a human here. And the human has faults. The human guaranteed has faults. So the question is, you know, can you work with the faults? Well, ideally, at the beginning, you're not really seeing much of the faults, so you're living in the romance. Live it up. That's my recommendation, based upon my own experience. And if the relationship goes sort of tumbling down at the end, then learn. Learn from it. Become wise, become understanding and sympathetic and empathetic. Try to get where the other person is coming. If they decide to leave you, find out why. What did I do? How do you feel? What's going on in your life that you're feeling this way? Is it just me? You know, what's going on in your other relationships, family? Find out about that person, because the more you find out, the more compassion you can have for that person and why they're acting that way and why they're treating you that way. Then you can love them even if they pour anger on you, or hatred on you, or slam the door on you. You will still love them because you respect their past and the wounds that they have in their own heart. You get it. If you're just blind and you think that you're a victim and that they're attacking you and hurting you and they shouldn't be doing this, maybe you just haven't inquired deeply enough on where those wounds are inside that person. And oftentimes, the person who is attacking you, let's say in an intimate relationship, will able to touch into your buttons in exactly the right way to hurt you. They somehow know it subconsciously. It's interesting, isn't it? They somehow know. How did you know that? How did you know I could be hurt by that? But you know why that happens? Is because we create that. We create the person to come into our life to touch the same wound that we've had since a baby. To prod that soft spot, that spot that has been hurt too many times. And that's God's message saying, you need to go there. This person is helping you to go into the depths of your pain and suffering and feel that in the most profound way and cry and hold that child that has been hurt. And then, the Divine Mother. You invite the Divine Mother into you, and you allow the Divine Mother to hold that boy, girl, whatever. Let that, whatever your ideal, let's say it's Mother Mary, you invite Mother Mary into your heart and you say, Mother Mary, I don't know how to heal my heart. I don't know how to solve this suffering. I'm lost in the pain. And I'm just asking you to hold me right now. And you imagine that being there. Let's say it's Mother Mary, and she's inside your heart, and she's just glowing and sending so much love and tenderness. And in that love and tenderness, she's saying, everything is going to be okay. This is what's supposed to happen. This is what's supposed to happen. When your heart gets broken, you come closer to me. When you get hurt, you touch into a more profound sense of love. With my breakup recently, it was bittersweet, missing the companionship and remembering all the good times. And usually that's where my mind goes, as you know. I just remember all the beautiful, sweet times that we had together and how loving that was. And somehow I remember mostly that. Maybe it's a fault, I don't know, but I do. And then I feel the pain and suffering of my heart, and there's a certain sweetness in that of wow, I'm capable of love. In the hurt, in the getting hurt, it's like it shows that my soul is longing for love. And as I said, the only ultimate satisfaction you will have is when you awaken that Divine Mother inside you. That will be your only satisfaction, because the humans are going to be fickle. One day they'll love you and the next day they leave you. Maybe not even because of anything you did, but because maybe they just couldn't handle the intensity. It's possible. Maybe they are, or maybe, there could be so many multiple reasons why people sort of fall apart in that way. But it is always a reminder to go back to the presence of love that exists in your own heart and has always been there, and is completely self-sufficient and doesn't require any one person to fill or satisfy. I like that movie, Jerry Maguire, when he goes into the room and sees the girl, and he's in tears, And he says to the girl, "You complete me." His words were pointing to something complete. He wanted to feel whole again. And somehow he felt like she could do that for him. So it represented his longing for God, for the divine. And he felt that perhaps the closest thing was her. So when you say, "I need you," what you're saying is, I need my own soul to return to me. It's been locked away behind the walls of trauma and all the things that I mentioned. Things that have hurt my feelings, that are still holding on to me. Those are the walls. And a lot of times we don't know what those walls are. We have no idea how to knock them down. So we simply ask God, we say, "I don't even know where to begin. Really don't. I can't see it. I'm blind." And then ask for help. That is the most effective way. It really is. You know, and it could be asking the angels. It could be asking your spiritual guide. Whoever it is that you feel most connected to. And many people, let's say Christians, would ask Christ and say, "Christ, you know, I'm in deep suffering right now, and you know, many people who break up, they don't even want to live. In fact, many of the people who have been married for many, many years, when their spouse dies, they die soon after. That often happens, actually, because there was so much invested into that person, so much need, that when that person dies, somehow a part of them died. And in one sense, that happens, actually, because they're chemically, physically, emotionally, mentally, intellectually bound in this, right? They're bound. Like, not just hugging each other. They're bound. So you know how much time it takes to release those, we'll call them ties. One woman said to me, you know, if you're married for 20 years, it takes 10 years for you to release fully the ties to that person. I don't know if that's true or not. I think if you have help from a connection with the divine, it can actually happen very quickly. But if you don't, many people get lost in that and don't know how to really break the ties, and may be longing for that person for the rest of their life and never be able to get them back. Again, very bittersweet, isn't it? Very bittersweet. And yet that's a longing for the soul. You know, it's a longing for my beloved to come back to me. Where is my beloved? It's like we get incarnated onto this earth and suddenly we go through all these traumas and emotional things and our heart closes down and we go, where did my beloved go? Where did my heart go? Where did my love go? I don't know how to get it back. Then we need a master or a teacher or a guru or an angel saying, you know, help me. I'm lost here. And in fact, you know, that's one of my favorite stories is the stories of the story of the gopis, because what happened with them was they fell in love with the divine boy, Krishna, right? But it was physical at first. So it was like, oh, he's so beautiful, he's so sweet, so loving, so mischievous, we love him. And then they didn't know that they were falling in love with a boy that was divine. So it started physical, and then gradually they started to transform, because when you love the physical form of the divine, that already starts to transform you, even if you're confused. So you have very good karma if you fall in love with a guru or a divine being in the physical flesh. You're very fortunate. And that dissolved their karma. And that purified their heart. to such a degree that these girls had a love that was like an ocean and completely different than human emotional love, although the emotions came out. Everywhere, in everything, all they could feel was the love for Krishna. Everywhere, no exception. Wherever they looked. That's why when Uddhav came to see them and said, well, you guys are crying for Krishna, don't you realize Krishna is everywhere? Let me give you my knowledge. Let me give you, he's a Gyani, right? A guy who's going to teach wisdom to them. Let me teach you some yoga. They said, where do we put your knowledge, Uddhav? There's no space here. We're lost in love for Krishna. It's all we feel. That's the very nature of our being. And it's our very soul. Where do we put your knowledge? That is a sign of divine love. Prem, and I talk about that word often. Prema, which is pure love. You don't see anything else. You don't recognize good and evil. It doesn't make any sense to you. Your mind doesn't comprehend that anymore. So then I'll share with you a little bit of love medicine. This is a very easy thing to do. Two things, actually. Two very simple things that you can do to awaken your heart chakra, particularly your hridayam. The hridayam is this structure. It's very, very complicated, very sophisticated structure in the heart, in your heart space, that has embedded in it the potential for endless ways of love. Endless forms of love. Here, all here. So many different circuits. And a very simple way to awaken that power inside you is chanting the Bij mantra. It's a seed mantra, that's why I call it medicine. Medicine. This is more like energy medicine. We don't need a pill. Go to a spiritual pill. The mantra is Om Hridayam Hridayam. Hridayam is the technical, esoteric structure of the heart space. Om Hridayam Hridayam. Hridayam. So I'll repeat this. It's not just about like trying to inspire yourself to feel love again. It's also about energetically healing yourself. And that's why this practice is so powerfully helpful. So we place our right hand over our heart and we'll chant together the mantra Om Hridayam Hridayam. 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 just relax. And just set your intention for the energy of that mantra, the healing power, to arise deep within your heart and clear away any of the old wounds that are there. Again, ask the mantra to help us release the deeper hurt in our heart. Any hurt we are experiencing right now, deep within. We ask the mantra to release, help us to let go of that, to process that. And then imagine as the heart space becomes clear, a divine light arises there, pure, pristine divine light, the light of the heart chakra arises, beautiful, sweet, soft. Feel that light. And if there's any intimate relationship that you have broken up in the past with, that perhaps you may still have some things going on with them, and if not, even if it might be subconscious, whoever you would like to have a healing with, imagine that person right in front of you. And look into their eyes. And you can, if you like, you can thank them for the love that you did experience with them. All the beautiful times. can take your hands in a cupped position in front of your heart. Just feel the glow, that globe of light in your heart kind of roll into your hands. And then reach out and place that pure globe of light into the heart, that being in front of you. Relax and see if you can note any shift or change with that being. Maybe their facial expression changes, something shifts perhaps. And then you can ask that being, what message do you have for me? And let them answer. And then can thank that being for joining us tonight. And let them go. Let the image, the vision dissolve, release. divine love in the room, in your heart. Also for those people online, if you'd like to sing aloud to cleanse the space, bringing the holy presence of love. Anandam means bliss, and prem means divine love. And this mantra comes forth from Sri 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 Swami Purna Maharaj, who is an embodiment of that love, that bliss that all beings are searching for and have been searching for lifetime after lifetime. Searching for the beloved. The King of my soul. Anandam Atmanandam Atmanandam Set your intention to feel the mantra awaken even deeper. We ask the mantra to soften our heart, to make our heart tender, open, vulnerable. That we may take in the world, that we may embrace the world just as it is. perfect as it is. Nothing out of place. As if the heartbeat of God is sounding all around us, nowhere where it is not. Everything, an object of God's love, fully embraced and accepted as it is. Nothing excluded. In every part of you, every particle, every emotion, every thought is made so perfectly, crafted by the very hands of God. No particle out of place. You were meant to be exactly as you are. Absolutely perfect in the eyes of God. And all of your past unfolded just as it should. Nothing ever went wrong. You are the unfoldment of God's love. No need to change a thing. And indeed, your life is so precious. The universe would not be the same without you. Whether you've went and served thousands of hungry people, or you locked yourself up in a room, you are equally treasured as you are. Feel your amazing being, your heart beating. The Listen to the divine sound all around you, inside you, the anahat. Wake up to that divine sound, which is you. Turn your ear towards that sound. Listen. It is you. Even a chorus of angels in heaven cannot compare to this sound, which is behind the very essence of your being. You hear the sound for yourself. You will cry in happiness. You will break down in rapture. You will come upon your knees and you will worship the divine that is everywhere. Shining in all of creation. You are that. There is nothing but that. Submerge. Merge. Take in 3 deep breaths and breathe the light of that mantra into our heart chakra. Ask the mantra to help us to clear away any negative, heavy feelings that we have towards anyone in our life. Any grudges, any resentments, any fears, guilt, any feelings of unfairness, any confusion, any sorrow. We release the burden of those things from our soul. May the presence of the mantra help us to release it gracefully, easily. See each person in our life with the eyes of love. With a heart of kindness and compassion, care. May we be open to serve for the highest good. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Prema Rupena Sansita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Prema Rupena Sansita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Prema Rupena Sansita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Prema Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Prema Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Prema Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Prema Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Prema Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Prema Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Prema Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Prema Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. O Supreme Goddess, you are everywhere. Shower your love upon me. I bow to you. I bow to you. I bow to you. And so we imagine her love in every atom of creation, an infinite light. We feel ourselves merging into that light. Mind, ego, emotions, body, intellect, everything absorbed into that light. There's nothing else. the Divine Mother. And just know that any words that I'm saying or trying to convey or explain are nothing compared to the direct experience of the mantra. Everything is said in the mantra. May not know what you're singing, what it means, what Sanskrit is, you may have no clue. But everything that we are looking for is in the mantra. All the qualities, all the beautiful transcendental experiences, they're all in it. You don't have to do anything else. Just plug in, tune in, like get your cells resonating with the mantra. Get all your thoughts resonating with the mantra. Every molecule starts to vibrate with that, and there's nothing left to say. There's nothing left to explain. You don't have to explain what love is. You don't have to say anything about it. Because it's you. You embody it. That's why the teachings of masters are often transmitted in silence. They don't say anything. They don't need to say anything because the presence is thick in the air. It's crystal clear. You simply be open to it. And it arises. And then you walk around and you're an embodiment of the teachings. And you share your vibration with others. And that's the teaching. You don't have to sit down to the person and say, let me explain to you, my friend, what love is. This morning, a woman came into my car to get a ride. And I gave her the card, a Share the Love card. And she had been having a really kind of hard week with her business. She was running a business. I forgot what kind of business, a construction company. And having a rough time, and she was kind of complaining about it and wondering kind of how long she was going to live even underneath this pressure. And I gave her the card, and she started crying. She was so touched. She said, I was having such a hard week, and I felt like this is a sign from the higher power to bring a light into her life. She was really moved. And it was like a 15-minute car ride. And she then got out of the car and walked confidently out. And was so much happier. So
You're uber psychologist.
it doesn't really take much. In terms of action, expressing love through action, it really doesn't take much. I mean, it's a card.
You can express love in a second to
Right?
someone you don't even know.
So you don't even know.
See them light up.
With a smile,
Yeah.
with a look.
Or not even see them, but just
Yeah.
you don't have to see them you don't have to see the reaction.
Yeah. And so when we're chanting the mantra, it's like we're bringing that presence forth inside us, and then when people approach, there can be an experience of that vibration. So your aura is sort of magically lit up, and people will get the vibration whether you do or say anything.
That's true.
So, but the energy inside you will prompt you to do loving things. Naturally, it'll be an automatic sort of flow. You won't have to think about, how do I do loving things? Maybe at the beginning, when you're first kind of getting onto the spiritual path, you're trying to think of what would be loving here, because maybe you're not used to that. But when the energy kind of takes over, then it will sort of connect into your mind, and then your mind connects into your actions, and then your body will do things that are in alignment with the love naturally. Again, it doesn't take any effort. I feel like a lot of males, particularly males, might overthink love. What do I do in this case to be loving towards this person, right? And you're thinking. Oftentimes that's how the male mind works, because it's very analytical. But when the heart space opens, then you don't really have to access so much your intellect in order to figure out what love is. You just simply are it. You're sharing it. And that's nice, because then your life isn't such an effort of what does this person need in order to feel happy? You're not trying so hard to be an expression of love. You're just outpouring it like a fountain. Easy.
Yeah, when you're in that space, yeah.
And then you don't have to read lots of books to figure out how to express love. Although, that book, what do you call it? The 5 Languages of Love? I think there are 5. In which every person kind of has a certain kind of love that they like to receive. Whether it's like praise or encouragement, or it's like a physical gift or whatever. That could be helpful, because then you can find out what that person likes, and then you can provide the love how they like it.
Sure.
It can be very, very helpful to know that. Because if the person doesn't like gifts, is not really into gifts, they're more into, you're supporting them with words, and then you're giving them gifts. You're like, they say, well, that's a nice gift, but it's not really touching them, because they're not interested in gifts.
And you're not giving them what is love to them.
What is love to them?
You can waste your time on gifts, but
Right.
better than giving them what.
Right, something that they really
It's love.
appreciate, that they feel is love. So that can be very helpful.
I heard somewhere there was a picture of hell where there was a feast, and women and men, they were feeding each other, but they look miserable. And so there's a feast, right? Like there's so much food, but apparently they were not feeding each other what they wanted.
Yes.
What that person wanted. The other person, the opposite person was not feeding what they wanted, but not what the partner wanted.
Right. It's kind of like, feeding your husband something, you're trying to serve your husband. Oh, I I've got this plate of food I made for you, but it's like Brussels sprouts or something. He doesn't like it. I personally like Brussels sprouts, but let's say your husband didn't. Like, oh, that's a nice gesture of love, but he doesn't like the Brussels sprouts.
But they're healthy for you. Yeah, that's love. Yeah, I've seen some people give, some gestures of love to some people on the street, and I walked into Starbucks one night and I saw this man draping over a shopping cart. He didn't really look like he was been on the street long, but I went in there and I bought a sandwich. And I went out and I gave it to him. He refused it. He refused this gift. What he wanted was a coffee and a donut or something like that. Yeah.
Right. He wanted a coffee and a donut.
Yeah. And the lesson he taught me was that I just made up my mind about what I thought he needed.
Yeah.
And I didn't bother to ask him.
Yeah. Sometimes it's helpful to ask the person, what would you like?
Yes.
What'd you do with the sandwich?
Well, in the words of Thich Nhat Hanh, the gift was refused, so it belongs to me. I probably ate it. Actually, there's something else I want to see. Someone that I also say I was married to, but separated from. But she always wanted gifts at Mother's Day that were purchased gifts, not gifts made by her children. And she was very disappointed when she got
Right.
a gift made by her children.
Yeah.
And maybe it was time to go out of that and get, something
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Not crafts. Crafts are for 3-year-olds.
Sure, yeah.
But it was
Good learning.
like, okay,
Yeah.
doesn't matter what
Yeah. Yeah. The fact that you think about someone carefully, what do they need? That in itself is love.
Yeah.
It's like Satya having made the orange pants for me.
Marina brought me, and her husband, they brought me 2 stones from some kind of cove on the beach. And they both decided that they picked up 2 stones, they were like broken in 2, 1 stone. And they said that we felt something, they were special, so they brought it to you from their vacation. And I was like, wow, you thought of me on your vacation, it was your vacation.
Yeah.
That was amazing. So they brought it
Yes.
to me, because they know I meditate with stones on
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
And that felt special.
Yeah, they were thinking of you.
Yeah.
That's why people send postcards from abroad to other people. It's like, oh, we're thinking of you on our vacation.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
And they
That's sweet.
they
Really.
were thinking of you, and they brought you something that you would have meaning to you. Or-
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
something that I would like, not something they would like, but something that I would like and I definitely like.
Right. And something they would like, but what you would like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if anyone online heard that conversation, but I won't be able to repeat it all. But I will chant the final mantras in honor of Sri 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 Swami Purna Maharaj, who sanctifies this gathering tonight. And we can just relax into the sound of the music and the mantra. Just feel into it. It's like taking a warm bath, maybe with some bit of essential oils in it. And sea salt. Om Place our hands in prayer position in front of our heart. Chant together Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace.